Well, lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I love the character of Maeve. She is just such a cool, smart, badass, and she must be amazing to play. First of all, do you enjoy playing her? And also, what can we expect from her in season 2?
Yes, I do enjoy playing her
yeah.
quite a lot.
Yes.
She's everything you said. And season 2, you kind of see her go through. I mean, goes quite a seismic shift in her life, and sort of her mum comes back into her life and takes over this space and this bubble that Maeve's created for herself, and her independence and her strength and resilience of sort of all being questioned a bit more by this new presence in her life again. She's spending a lot more time with Amy, which is a very positive thing, which we love to see. We love to see Maeve and Amy together. And and she joins a quiz team, which is great. So she's trying to focus on her, on her studies and her beautiful brain a bit more, which is really good to see. So, I think that's sort of broadly what goes on,
And I suppose everyone loves a will they, won't they? And I love the friendship with her and Otis. But do you actually think, will they be good together as a couple,
Well, you see, this is the thing.
Yeah.
Would they?
Yeah.
I think they have a lovely, there is a real chemistry there.
Definitely.
And it's sort of so unexpected. Like, sort of, you don't really expect those kinds of two people on paper to go together. But I kind of see it as like they kind of have a secret language between them, and they really get each other. And they have sort of the same humour, and even if they react to things in different ways and they present themselves very differently, I think that their cores are fundamentally good, and that's why they're sort of attracted to each other. I think kind of need each other. But they definitely need to grow up a bit more. I think they've got a lot to figure out for themselves first before they can, live happily ever after. Happily ever after.
Happily ever after.
So, yeah.
And I heard you say in an interview before, which I thought was brilliant, that obviously there's so many kind of, I don't want to say graphic scenes, because it's not really the word, but intimate scenes on that show. And then you were saying, nothing feels awkward. And then I think Sex Education is one of the first, or maybe kind of one of the more prominent shows to use an intimacy coordinator.
Yes, indeed.
So how did that help you as an actor? And I guess it's brilliant that it wasn't awkward, and how was that so, I suppose?
Yeah, I mean, there's always a bit of anticipation, you get a bit of a bit of anxiety before, because it was my first time ever doing any intimate scenes. So, but it was brilliant having Ita there, because it's like having a stunt coordinator for a fight scene, or like a choreographer for a dance scene. That's how she says it, really, and that makes perfect sense. Like, why would you fling two people who hardly know each other naked in a room together and just expect them to have sex on camera? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's kind of like, it makes perfect sense, and it's a relief that that Ita and people like her exist. And I've definitely become more confident because of it, and I've taken her advice and her methods into other jobs I've done since. Yeah. And it's really helped, and it kind of just helps structure and demystify intimate scenes. So we're very lucky, and I'm glad that it's kind of, there's a movement starting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. Yeah. And speaking of other projects, you're in Death on the Nile.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know.
With an amazing cast as well. So what was that like? And what was it like, say, going from maybe a TV show like Sex Education, and then being on the set with like Kenneth Branagh and all these, I'm Kenneth Branagh, I'm saying this name wrong.
Kenneth Branagh. That's how I feel about it. Kenneth Branagh. It was like totally dreamy and surreal, and it was, and I kind of just floated. It was 2 months, very intense months of filming, and I was just surrounded by Dawn French and Jennifer Saunders and Annette Bening and the glorious Gal Gadot. Just like, it was so special and like really incredible, and I did learn a lot, because I love observing people, and it was very technically challenging, and it was a whole different kettle of fish.
Yes,
because it's a film, so the timing's different, and you get to spend more time on certain scenes. But then you have we had the two only camera, like 65mm cameras left in the entire world, like that film like Lawrence of Arabia and stuff like that. So incredible. Like, you have like artifacts with you, so it becomes very grown up. So I felt very grown up. Yeah.
And now I'm gonna, after that grown-up conversation, my final question is, what are your sex tips, Anna? So I've been asking
God, please.
I've been asking people, because it's a show about sex, and I think teenagers and adults are learning a lot from this show. And I was asking the guys, and they said, I don't know if we're qualified to give sex advice. So I suppose I'll ask you, what's the best sex tip from the show, do you think, for people? Or
the show.
Advice, I suppose, that you think.
Well, you know what? There's a beautiful thing that Jean says in season 2. She says, sex doesn't make you whole, so how could you ever be broken? To someone who thinks they're broken because she doesn't think she's interested in sex or whatever. And so I think that is a very important thing to carry with us. Even though we're making a show about sex, it's called Sex Education, we are offering up a version of our story, and we're offering up a bubble, and it's a means of starting a conversation, starting debate, and I think it's a healthy movement to be a part of. So yeah, everyone just take it at your own pace, and it's all cool.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, best of luck with everything.
Thanks very much.
Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.